Alrighty then, it's Mark Phantom here talking to Michael Briggs. Michael Briggs is a personal trainer and fitness instructor down at the First Place Fitness in Tarampa Strait, Hamilton.
Sure.
Hey Mick.
How you going, Mark?
Pretty good, thanks. Yourself?
Good, thanks, mate. Really well.
Excellent. Hey, so what's team training then?
Team training is a good question, and it's not a simple answer. We've got sort of a new concept here at the gym where we realise that people downstairs pumping weights is largely sort of an individual pursuit, ones or twos, and people were missing kind of a group experience that wasn't just standard set sort of classes. And so we designed a series of classes, a bootcamp class, WOD, which is a workout of the day, that's sort of functional movement, and also mixed martial arts or MMA as an opportunity for people to get together and train with others with a very high intensity and a shorter duration. So all these classes run for about 45 minutes, and what we're looking to do, Mark, is basically encourage sort of group participation so people get to know other people. You tend to work harder when the person next to you is sweating just as hard, and it also tends to help motivate you.
Yeah, it sure does. Mick, I noticed that even when I'm downstairs and I'm pushing weights, if I've got, a nice looking chick standing next to me or, some other dude that's pretty competitive looking, it kind of makes me go a bit harder and faster.
Exactly, Mark. And we believe that the competition is a vital aspect of sport. And this is sport. I mean, weightlifting is a sport. When you do it 6 or 7 times a week, you're far more committed than most of the people who go to one session of soccer practice and play on the weekends. I mean, it's serious about this sport. And there has to be competition at some points to try and drive you to go further and harder.
Well, I can tell you the competition really works on me, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm the same. I thrive on it.
Yeah, cool. So can you give me some details about MMA, bootcamp and WODs?
I can, Mark. So I'll start with bootcamp because I think everyone's pretty familiar with bootcamp. And that is essentially, it's got military roots where you're using a minimal amount of equipment. So there's a fair bit of body weight exercise in there. It's more of a structured class in that the instructor, tends to tell you what to do, and then you just do it. So it's a very one-sided class where you don't have to think. You just get in there. You've got 6 or 7 other people next to you, all sweating, and you're just going through what the instructor's telling you to do. Now, our boot camp classes are always different. There's no routine. We like to push boundaries. So essentially you can expect to walk into the class, be told exactly what to do, get a killer workout, and have some fun. That's a big element as well.
Sounds cool, Mick. What are some of the exercises you're talking about there? You said body weight exercise? What?
Yeah, body weight. I mean,
what's some examples?
You see in a military training camp, Mark, and I mean you expect to see sit-ups and push-ups. You expect to see squats. There's things with sandbags. There's medicine ball work. There's some static wall holds. There's a bunch of everything, and it's not only what the exercises are, it's how we present them in sort of what format. So sometimes we're trying to go short and fast, and other times we're trying to test the mental ability of people by really, really prolonging the exercises, making it a very, very long, hard sort of circuit. So you never know what you're going to get, but you can guarantee that it's the same type of training that you see in a military camp pretty much anywhere in the world.
Funnily enough, I actually love that stuff.
Great. Yeah, a lot of people do. And it's funny because boot camp has been around for a long time. It's not a fad. It's not probably as popular as some of the other classes, but the truth is, it's a very effective way to get super fit.
Yeah, cool. Good way to lose weight too.
Absolutely, 100%. And when I say fitness, I'm always referring to the fitness within the realms of your goal. Now, some people consider fitness gaining muscle, some losing weight, some being able to run up the stairs without huffing and puffing or chasing after the 2-year-old. So regardless of what your fitness goals are, we can accommodate because we can simply make a little adjustments in each of these classes to help you attain your goal.
Cool. So MMA, what does that stand for?
That is mixed martial arts. So we're talking UFC type of stuff, the stuff that's sort of taken over the planet, the fastest growing sport in the world. And,
Oh, yeah.
We teach, myself and another instructor, Mark Lee, who's very, very good, and we teach the basics of kickboxing, grappling, and jiu-jitsu. Mark also gets into the weapons realm and for group defence. But essentially, it's a hard workout. There's lots of punching, lots of kicking, there's lots of wrestling. It's basically trying to equip you to be great if you needed to defend yourself standing up. Also, though, being able to defend yourself if the fight went to the ground. The truth of the matter is 99% of fights generally end up on the ground. So
Yeah.
no longer you can be a great puncher and survive. So no one in my class, I can touch wood and say this, Mark, has ever got hurt except me. So it's a bloodless way to learn how to defend yourself with some really, really effective techniques.
I love that stuff. There's an emphasis on core and there's a bit of throwing and grappling and stuff. I love that.
Yeah, absolutely. Once you've done this for a little while, you realise that the power of every technique that you do comes from the core. So the core is essential.
Yeah. So it's really good to develop the core. I notice that as I've developed my core, that my abs are coming through.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. And when we talk core, we're talking definitely the abdominals, but also the lumbar chain around the back and the obliques on the side. So core is essentially basically that rubber tyre area that most of us are trying to get rid of around the middle of our waist and all the way to the back. So that whole area has to be strong. And mixed martial arts is really effective at doing that.
Especially for guys over 40 like me.
Yes, 100%. 45 in October, so I hear you. I'm never going to lose my core streak because it's really hard to get back, I think.
45. You don't look 45.
Thanks, Mark. Sometimes I feel it, but not today. I'm actually feeling pretty damn good today.
You look, to me, you look like a rundown 25-year-old.
Thank you. That's like a double-edged compliment, insult at the same time. I like it.
Good on you. Okay, so a WOD. What's a WOD?
The workout of the day. So this is probably our most popular class, to tell you the truth. So the WOD is different every day. You never know what you're going to walk into. And essentially what it is, it's a combination of metabolic or cardio work, but restricted to sort of cycling, rowing, running, skipping. Also, it's got Olympic lifting in there, Olympic weights, and also gymnastics, so pull-ups, sit-ups, push-ups, and squats, and a lot of other crazy exercises that we'll pull out from time to time. So again, the exercises themselves probably not new, but it's the combination of how we put them together and the competitive nature of the workout. So you can be racing against the person next to you, against your previous best time, against the clock, but whatever you want to work towards, we are pushing with an emphasis on perfect technique every time. So, but for one sort of fundamental rule about workout of the day, we want you to go heavy, we want you to go fast, but we need every technique to be perfect.
Yeah, cool. I noticed that in one of those WOD classes I was in, when I couldn't do an overhead press, they got me to do a different type of exercise.
Yes, Mark, and that's the key point to us is that a 62-year-old can be standing next to a 20-year-old and doing the same workout of the day, just with scalability. So we're big believers on not injuring people for the sake of the workout, because it's about health and fitness. So we'll give you the limits of what we think you can do, and that's based on both age, fitness background, and injuries. But it's not going to stop you from participating. It might just mean your exercises are slightly different.
What do you think the benefits of these types of classes are?
The benefits, anyone who's got 5 minutes to search on Google for the benefits of high-intensity exercise sort of can see that we're living more of a sedentary lifestyle, and it's a real shame. People sometimes think that can carry over into the gym, that they can sit on a treadmill for an hour and a half at a pace where they can chat to their mates, and that's going to be enough to improve their health and fitness.
No, sorry, that just doesn't cut it. It doesn't. it doesn't stack up with being chased by a saber-toothed tiger.
Exactly, Mark. That's exactly right. And intensity, we're all a little afraid of intensity, but the beauty of intensity is if we can train a little harder, we get to train for a shorter time. So you don't have to spend an hour and a half in the gym. You can be in and out in 45 minutes, including a warm-up and a cool-down, and feel like you've worked much harder than you have for years. And that intensity is key, but also is key to working up to it. So we just always want to push you a little bit harder. We don't want to destroy you, but the truth is in 6 months' time you'll look back and realise the intensity you're training at is incredibly high compared to how most people train.
Yeah, I noticed that there's a lot of people that come into the gym and they adopt somewhat of a bodybuilding type routine, you know, where they do different body parts on different days. But they get muscular. I'm talking about guys here. They get muscular, but they don't lose the rubber tie around their waist.
Exactly. And
yeah.
I'm afraid too that they may be very strong, but they can't run 5 kilometres as they needed to. And the workout of the day is all about trying to make sure that you've got a very good cross-section of fitness. So you can lift weights next to your mate, you can then go for a jog with your girlfriend, or you're also incredibly flexible and you can do a couple of chin-ups if you needed to show off. We want people to be able to do lots of different things very well. We're not particularly about mastering one aspect of the workout of the day. We want you to essentially be really good at all of them.
Well, I noticed that when I did strictly bodybuilding training, I got strong at lifting weights slowly, but as far as functional strength goes, I didn't have anything.
Yeah, and I believe, I'm a big lover of exercise. I think everything has its place. And I would rather someone do something than nothing. But I just believe also within exercise there's hierarchy. And functional exercises are still the king. They may not give you a bodybuilding type build. You may not be as beautiful looking as the guy who's done weights all his life, but it is practical. Squats is something that we do every day. Sitting down, things like lifting things above our head, we do that every day. Do we do it properly? That's the question. We like to teach people to lift properly, so longer term they'll stay healthy.
Yeah. I'll give you an example. After pushing weights for a couple of years, I had to move out of a flat one time and, had to lift a refrigerator and everything. And people think that because you do bodybuilding that you must be good at lifting pianos or fridges or something. But that's totally not the case.
Yeah.
On the other hand, when I was doing the workout of the day, I noticed that if I needed to lift a fridge and I had to do it by myself, that I could actually do that.
Yes, that's the thing. We lift all types of different objects because life is not a barbell or a dumbbell. That's very convenient. In fact, the most convenient designed way to lift a weight. That's why they're built that way. Life doesn't give you that opportunity very often. Yeah, everything is bulky. It's hard to get a
odd shape.
So, true life lifting is a little different.
Take, for instance, lifting up a sandbag, with all the sand rushing, to different corners of the bag makes it unstable, so you have to recruit more muscles to actually lift.
That's it, and I've always said that if you're going to spend some time in the gym and you can lift something that will incorporate 10 different muscle groups instead of one, why wouldn't you do that? You're just getting more bang for your buck, so it's all about muscles working together as well, Mark. So isolation exercises, they have their place, particularly for therapy, for injuries, for bodybuilding and that sort of thing to make up deficiencies. But the body doesn't work in isolation. Muscles work in groups, and so we should be training muscles to work in groups because that's what life throws at us.
Do you think mixed martial arts, boot camp and workouts of the day are for high-level athletes?
That's a good question, Mark. And the answer is yes, they are for high-level athletes just as much as they are for the beginner. So that's our job as instructors, is to make sure that we can run a class with 10 different levels of athlete in the class, from the person who's avoided the gym for the last 10 years versus the guy who's on the Waikato Chiefs development squad. And that's all just about scaling the workout. So everyone gets a hard workout and everyone's competing against the next person, but there might be slightly different weights involved, variations of exercises, but that intensity and that competitive nature, we still want that to be the same for everyone.
Yeah, cool. Hey, you've been operating classes for around 9 months now. How do you think they're going?
Oh, look, mate, they've taken off, to tell you the truth. They're very, very popular. The people that have been doing these since we started have said we can never go back to the standard weights or sort of cardio workout again. So I believe these are not for everyone. I'll be honest with you. These are for some parts of the demographic, just as the gym here is for other parts. So we're just trying to make sure that we cover, likes and dislikes of all of our members. But the people who've been doing it have gained strength. They've lost weight. They feel great. They love the fact they don't have to think about what they're doing. They just walk in and there's the workout. And you see the same faces coming back time and time again, but you also see quite a lot of new faces, and it's great, Mark, watching the thrill of those endorphins kicking in at the end of a workout and people saying, wow, I've never trained like this before, this is really cool.
Yeah, I noticed that when I see people turning up, whether it's early in the morning or in the evening or something, that they come up the stairs, they're looking pretty hungry for a workout.
Yeah.
And then by the time they leave, they look as though they've come out of a concert, a really intense concert. They're sweating. You can see that they're emotionally spent, and they look pretty happy.
Oh, I think so, and I think this has got to be fun as well. I mean, this is supposed to be fun, but they do look happy, and I think anyone's happy when they feel like they've worked to a decent level, and given a little bit more than they thought they had that day. Sometimes we'll walk in and someone will be super pumped to do a workout next to a guy who's just pulled a night shift, had 1 hour's sleep and dragged himself into the gym. And they both work as hard as they can based on their background for the last 24 hours and their health and fitness background. But they both feel as good when they finish because, again, it's all about scaling the workout to suit your situation.
Yeah, I think the guy dragging his butt in after 1 hour sleep sounds like me.
Yeah, look, that's amazing. I personally would probably sleep on through, but these guys don't want to miss the class, Mark, so they'll minimise their sleep and so they can get in here and do one.
I've seen some remarkable success stories there. People that have come in at the beginning of the 9 months and they've really, really slimmed down. Their bodies have changed. They've become more muscular. They've become more healthy looking.
Yeah, and the thing is, for me, one of our greatest successes is an older gentleman, and he used to do a lot of cardio in the gym and sort of lighter weights. But research has shown us that as we get older, our bone density needs to be worked on. We lose muscle mass, and our bone density suffers as we get older. So one way to reverse both those issues is to lift decent-sized weights.
Yeah.
You have to do it safely, guaranteed. But having some muscle mass and some good bone density, when you fall down, there's less chance of breaking something, which is a real problem as you get older. So as far as this gentleman, he's lost a ton of weight. He's building up his bone density. He went to the doctor a couple of weeks ago. His cholesterol's down, his blood pressure's down. He's just a picture of health, and the doctor's even said his skin looks great. He's just a changed man, huh?
Yeah, I know the guy you're talking about, and you're right. He looks fantastic.
Yeah, he really does. And not only that, he feels incredibly good.
Yeah, he looks like he's older than me, like he's in his 60s.
Yes, yeah. He's an amazing guy. And again, he's sitting there training next to these young guys and keeping up with them and occasionally beating them too. And,
I noticed...
that's just got to be a great feeling at 62.
I noticed when he turned up, he was overweight, sick and injured looking.
Yes, yeah, he had quite a few injuries, and the truth is, he still gets the occasional aches and pain here and there, but he just lets us know, and we just make sure that we rest that body part and give him a decent workout with what we can do. So I love the fact that these workouts can be scaled. I know I've been harping on about it, Mark, but the most important aspect for me is that I've walked into classes where you're expected to keep up or shut up. We don't operate that way. We want you to tell us what's going on in your life, and we'll do the work out to make sure that you stay safe, but get a hell of a sweater. But there's nothing to be afraid of. You just got to come in and try it, and you'll be victim as we are.
Hey, that sounds really cool, Mick. Thanks for the opportunity to call you and have a chat about workout of the day, mixed martial arts and boot camp. It's been enjoyable chatting with you.
I really appreciate your time, mate. It's been great.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you, Mark.
Bye.